Yeah, I'm not. Let me do the intro real quick.
Well, you can
What?
do the intro. Just
Okay.
go and do the intro.
What is
Ain't
going?
ain't
Huh?
ain't nobody gonna watch it anyway.
Oh,
But
they're
go
gonna
ahead and do
watch it. They're
it.
gonna watch it one day. They're gonna run it back. But welcome, guys. This is one of the best, most informative, intelligent, and funny podcasts on YouTube. The Men of the Metaverse podcast. I am Beach Dad. This is Lewis from My Life, My Money Media. Lewis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
We haven't been streaming like we usually have on Sunday, but we are back. I'm feeling pretty good. Like I miss doing this. I'm not out of my groove or whatever like that, but life happens. We had a lot of stuff going on, but but we're back today.
God damn that we don't put uh-huh.
That's how you know you're in the South. We got we got nets. But
Yeah.
a lot of stuff did happen while we were gone. We started touching on just pearly things a little bit.
They still talk. They riding that girl's back. They still
Yeah.
talking
So
about
how
it.
do you feel about that? Because it's not like she just out of nowhere. It was just she just messed up now. Like we could see this coming, and you kind of called it out early, but a lot of people weren't doing that. But now everybody jumping on
Now you gotta remember something about me. I always looked up to the pimps. All right.
her. Okay.
So, and I know pimping when I see it. So most
Okay.
people, they get played by the game. Even me,
That's true.
sometimes I
That's
get
true.
played.
Mm.
So when you could take a white woman, put her on stage, have her be friendly. The black guys will die for her.
They will.
They'll fall on the sword for her.
They will. They will. And that's not exclusively for white women, but that does happen. Like men will do stupid stuff for women in general, but for some reason, when you take a Caucasian lady like that, and put her up there, they'll just lose their mind and kind of do things out of the ordinary that don't even make sense, but they'll just kind of go with it.
Well, a lot of people are sheep, no matter what race they are. So
That's true.
they
But they don't defend black women so easily, or so they won't jump on the sword for black women like they would jump on the sword for her.
because half of them hate black women.
But why? How you hate black women when your mama's a black woman?
Because your mom didn't raise you right.
Okay.
When you go to the store, if you see a Negro parent fussing at a kid, what gender who's fussing at the kid?
Black. Black.
No. I said what gender?
Oh, what gender
is fussing at the kid? What Negro gender?
A woman is fussing at her male son normally in the store. I don't necessarily. Go ahead.
And do you hear profanity in those words, Brandon?
You could, depending on where you are. Yes, you could.
So is that right?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yes, that's bad parenting, Brandon.
So, but why?
Watch this.
Because you're old school. You kind of old school, and you think this generation is kind of soft. Do you think that parenting is a little too extreme?
Brandon, it's no excuse to verbal assault a child just because they touching stuff at Walmart.
Right. I hear you.
You should have raised your child and said, "Don't you touch nothing up in here," and I ain't gonna say it no more. That's all you got to do.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
But sometimes life will be going on, and you're frustrated, and you just had enough. You running out low on money, and somebody been talking your head off, and you just didn't had up to here. Don't you go in the store? Don't touch anything. Won't have no money. Won't have no extra money. Stop asking me for stuff. And what they do when they get in the store? They touching stuff. They're trying to ask, "Can we get this?" It's a toy that they're not going to play with, but they want to ask for it. So as a parent, you got to relax, and a lot of parents don't.
So you put in your adult problems, the problems you have with your boss at work.
Yep.
The gossip they had beef on Facebook. You feeling envy because the fake stuff you see on Instagram. You taking all those activities and letting loose your anger on your little child,
right? That has nothing to do with that.
And every time you look at him, he look just like his or her daddy, and that pisses you off every time you look because you ain't with him.
Right. That is a good point. But yeah, that does happen.
Huh?
That does happen. But not to get too far off track, but just Pearly Things. That's a great name for one. And people started kind of going to her page and liking her content. And I think we just had a problem with it because we saw what she was trying to do. She came out of nowhere.
I don't got a problem with it.
Well, we kind of had a problem with her trying to give advice and not having the experience, right? Or no, not really.
No, I got a problem with people who's listening taking this advice. That's a problem.
Yeah, but why would they take advice from her opposed to somebody that looked like us or just anybody else? What made her, the person like, oh, look, I like what she's saying, even though
supremacy.
White supremacy. Okay.
And black people like white supremacy too.
Yeah, they do.
Because we think we inferior.
Right.
And
like I said, that goes back to how we like to buy their clothes, and we have more value in their stuff than our own stuff.
You could go into any Chinese food restaurant in the hood. I can guarantee you Brandon establishment is a whole lot cleaner.
Speaking of which, the health inspector came back again. I'm like, I was like, I know this ain't the health inspector again. So we had another health inspection, but go ahead. I'm like,
how many times they supposed to come a year?
I'm not sure, but they came the end of the year and it's already here. I guess time is moving and going fast, but I'm like, y'all need to check some of these other places around us and see what's going on in there too.
Go to the Chinese food restaurant in the hood. Look across that counter. They got flip-flops on. food fly all on the floor. They stepping on it.
And not to snitch the place out, but they had a back door wide open. Like, you can't have no back door wide open,
back door wide open, drying clothes in the back. I see that, and they ain't no lie, bro. You think
that's not a lot? No, that's
drying clothes in the back.
People may be or may not. Like I said, we're not trying to be racist or draw conclusions, but people may be living there too. So
I don't live there, Brady.
I don't know.
Now,
go ahead.
They pull up there in a bus or a van. So all the workers pull up there in a van, get out the bus, and they go straight to work. So right. they ain't living there. They just may not have time. The laundromat's too busy at the house, so they gotta wash them in the sink at work.
Right. And the place that I'm talking about, like by us, there's a laundromat, there's a nail salon, and it's a Chinese restaurant. So all of them kind of frequent that whole area over there, and they work, all of them like come in the morning. Like you say, they don't jump out of a van necessarily, but they're all in the same vehicles and they all kind of getting out, doing what they got to do. And that's teamwork. That's teamwork, honestly. And that's a good thing. I wish we were kind of on that same kind of wave, because I don't know, you can get ahead quicker. I guess you can build something quicker if you're working together with multiple people. What do you think?
Well, you gotta remember they been no. Okay, they jump out that car. It got 5 seats in there, but 8 people jump out.
Okay.
All right. One or 2 people in there are building something, but the rest of the 6 people, they are supporting and living off what that 2 people built.
Right, but they're actually watching and observing how to do it as well. And it's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a entrepreneurship kind of thing or what, but they're watching how the blueprint is laid out already. They know, they talk to each other about it, so you can kind of see firsthand how it's supposed to be done, and maybe work your way up, and they'll let you run it, or you do your own thing if you save up your money to open up your own place.
If that's true, Brandon, why the Vietnamese in the Philippines ain't blown up yet?
What you mean blown up? Oh, you talking about sending money back?
No, not sending money.
over there.
Why they don't got businesses like America got businesses?
Because you just can't do the same thing over there. They like to say they can, but
you told me you watch it. They watch it.
They watch it over here. You can do those kind of things over here, but you can't necessarily do those kind of things in your own land, and that has to do with their economy, their money, politics over there, all that kind of stuff. Like you would think you've got the skills to open up a restaurant over there, but it's not going to be successful like it is over here. Because people over there, you think they're gonna go out to the restaurant, do all that kind of stuff? No, they don't do that kind of stuff. They'll eat at home. They'll fix some food at home.
Let's get back to white supremacy.
Okay, go ahead.
With black people support white supremacy. The reason being, we'll go to that Chinese food restaurant with the guy cooking with flip flops.
Okay.
Every twice a week, but we won't visit Brandon's restaurant.
Not only that, they'll give you an attitude. They'll give you an attitude.
Yeah, they'll give you attitude and talk to you in your face. The next thing you know, speak out another language.
Right.
You know, they speak the other language.
Right. And we'll go back. We'll give them money over and over and over again.
There you go. And they ain't paying no taxes on there. They want you. They want to pay they want to pay cash.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You're right.
So black people are one of the biggest supporters of white supremacy in the world.
Is it unknowingly? Like, do people know what they're doing? Is it just, do they not want to admit to what they're doing? How do you see it?
Brandon, okay, let's go back to the motherland.
Okay.
The people in the motherland try to exit Africa ASAP.
Okay.
To go where, people? They want to go to Switzerland. They want to go to Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go to United Kingdom to chill with Miss Pearly. They want to go to United States.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna leave an area that's predominantly black. You know, you'll see 1,000 black people, and you'll see for every 1,000 black people, you got 10 white persons and 2 Chinese people.
Right. Correct.
But since they believe in white supremacy so much, they can't. Hey, we inferior. We can't build in our own country, so we need to go to these other countries.
Yeah, but why can't we? Why can't we though? Like I say, we can. We should be able to.
Because we can't work together, Brandon. We already think we think we go steal from each other, but you look at the books. What the man said on YouTube. Y'all black people worry about talking about y'all the best steeds, y'all can hustle this. Well, other people, they stole bodies. They stole 20 generations of people.
Yeah.
And use those people, say, hey, we gonna steal you, we gonna abuse you, but you gonna, in your back of your mind, you gonna like us. And you go give her all this money, and you go enrich us, and we still support it.
So does that rub you the wrong way when you see people that look like you that don't see the power that they hold, but they're just giving it away? They're giving away their power, they're giving away their leverage all the time to another race, and like I say, uplifting them and not uplifting yourself, your own people.
No, that don't rub me the wrong way. Brandon, shout out this guy. I can't pronounce the name, Vernon or something. But nah, they don't rub me the wrong way because every day a fool is born. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm supposed to do? Every day a fool is born.
I got you.
You know, so you tell me, like with Miss Pearly, the
from
white
the UK. From a privileged. Did you see her home? Yeah. I was kind of digging into it a little bit. She has a huge home. Her parents had a huge home. You know, does she come from the struggle? But she for some reason she can attach to people from the struggle or from different areas, and they kind of look up to her and are drawn into her for some reason.
What you mean by struggle?
Do you think she struggled her life? Did she have a struggle or had hardships? Like,
of course, she's a white woman in America, Brandon.
What kind of struggles do they go through? Because, like I said, we all do have struggles.
They do. They go to the struggle to fighting the white man to get some of that power. That's what the struggles they go to.
And that is a struggle, but on the level or the totem pole, it's not where we are. It's not. We don't have that. We have that and more.
We got that type of struggling. Well, I ain't struggling with no white man. Only person I'm struggling with is the Negroes, the black guys.
But you're not struggling with white supremacy, but it exists. You live in a country where it's prominent. and they're trying and they try to act like it's not a thing. So you're not struggling with it, but it affects people around you. And it can affect, like I say, it can affect my business. It can affect things that happen in your life because people rather do something else than to stick with you or support you because you wrote a book, correct? You have a book,
a great book, and
that could actually help people, right? But we rather what, go on the Shade Room and see what entertainers are doing instead of reading that book, trying to gain some financial advice, or just look at your experiences with money and try to build on that.
Nah, see, with black people, only time we see money is you gotta have Michael Jordan titty shoes on. You gotta have
but that's just part of how we are. Like, we like that. We rather see that, and that's success to us. When other cultures, they don't need to do that. They don't need to put on a bunch of money to show that they have money.
No, because the look more successful, you gotta look more poor.
And how do you say, just more regular or more poor?
Like, you gotta have a pair of Levi titty shoes. You gotta have a polo shirt on.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in our culture,
run over shoes. And that's the style now.
Right.
That's the style now.
Well, that's a good topic because I saw some Caucasian people. They have like some Air Force Ones, and they're dirty. That's in for them. But me and you, we probably couldn't do that. It don't hit the same.
You're right. Right now, dirty bullet toes are in style for the rich.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you could buy some Gucci's that look like they've been run over by 18-wheeler for $1,500.
Right.
All right, Brandon. You heard this before, right?
Yes, I have.
What pronounce it for me?
Medicaid.
Okay, what you know about that?
It's a government-assisted program, pretty much, and it's supposed to help less fortunate people.
That sounds good, right?
That does.
But in the back of my mind now, this is one of the issues we facing over here.
Okay.
Because watch this, Brandon. How many black people own a house?
What percentage? Did we look at
what percent? I know the percentage.
35%, or was it lower than that?
That's close. It's 40% of black people own a home or buying a home, whatever.
Okay.
Now, Brandon, can I ask you personal? Is your mom home paid off, or is almost paid off?
It's close to being paid off.
All right. Is it in her name?
Yeah.
Now, imagine this, Brandon. If your mom become disabled and need a nursing home,
correct?
Could she afford a nursing home right now?
Probably not.
How much you think a nursing home costs?
At least $2K. Like, well, I think you told me, but I'm just gonna say $2K. $2K a month.
A nursing home
reasonable. I think that would be reasonable.
A nursing home is $10,000 a month, Brandon.
But why? But why? Just because? But so before we go, but what part does Medicaid or Medicare? Which one is for older people? I can't, because I get them mixed up. Medicare is for older people.
Medicare is for individuals, I think, past 65.
Okay.
And that's health insurance.
Okay.
Medicaid, aid, whatever this word is, it's a program to help people who don't got no money now.
Okay, I got you.
So Brandon said his mom house. People, listen. If you the 60% of people who own a home or family own a home, if the unfortunate thing that happens, if a loved one has to go, who owns a home, has to go into a nursing home, if you don't got $10,000, they gonna put a gun to your head, Brandon. What you think they gonna do? You can't, if your mom can't afford $10,000, Brandon. What you gonna do?
I mean, what can you do?
What you gonna do, Brandon?
If my mom can't afford it, I would have to move her. I would have to move her in or take care of her myself. But that's how really feasible is that? Like, that's a tough thing to do.
If your mom
she needs real care, 24 hours,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. 24-hour skilled service,
right,
for 12 of those hours. Could you do that at your house?
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
So she'll have to go to a nursing home that costs $10,000, right?
Right. But how much is that out of pocket? Because
Brandon, I said the nursing home costs $10,000, Brandon.
Okay,
Let me run the story.
Go ahead. But
right.
but that's the problem. Like, we pay insurance all these years, and now when we getting further into our life, when we really need insurance, it's not really there for us.
This ain't no insurance, Brandon.
But did your dad did have insurance though? Like, he paid how many years? But that's what I'm saying. How many years did he pay insurance? Like, we pay insurance to these companies for, well, let's just say 30 years. Let's say he paid 30 years of insurance.
More like 50 or 60.
But I'm just saying, I know it's probably more than that, but just think 30 years of payments. That's a lot of money. And so now it's, he's like, it's not, I'm not saying he had a gun to his head or anything like that, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, who do you turn to? Like, we're in this country where they say they care about us and they say they care about older people, but they don't really. It's just a business. This country is a business.
It's require loopholes. That's number 3. But Brandon jumping ahead. Let's finish your mama's story.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama need $120,000 a year cash.
Right. That's crazy. No, it's ain't nothing we could do. We'd have to sell her house. And like I said, that's part of the game. They say, well, you have to try to come up with the money. So get rid of go ahead.
If you sell your house, now you could get penalized. Mm-hmm. So we said, no, you got all that lump sum of money. You can't be on Medicaid right now because you sold your house. Where the money at?
Mm.
You need to use that money to fund your stuff.
Right.
But what kind of happens if you don't have $120,000 every year cash, and you apply for Medicaid aid,
mm-hmm.
they're gonna look at your assets. They said, well, I'm sorry, Miss Aura, you don't have enough cash money to pay for this. So what we're gonna do for you is we're gonna use your house as collateral.
So they say that. So they're really looking at what you have and, playing that against you, using the leverage, because they know you need the care and they know you do have property. So,
but we're gonna use your house as collateral, but we ain't gonna come and take it till you died. All right. So whoever's living in there, y'all can stay living in there. Whoever what you got going on, but once you get admitted to this nursing home at $10,000 a month, and your house is worth $200,000, Brandon, how many months? How many months can that home pay for you,
Lewis? You saying if my house is what now? And it's 120?
No, if your house is worth 200.
Yeah, and I got in 1 year I got to pay 120. Like, I'm running. I'm almost. That's it. I don't have but it just doesn't make any sense, and that's the reality people are gonna be facing. And it's like, now what do I do when I'm running, like, my year and a half is coming up and I'm still gonna have to pay for this care? The care shouldn't be that high. They need to bring it down. It should be about how much your living is now. Maybe add a little bit more. It should be about $2,000 a month for care. Because I'm just in a facility with a nurse that's on staff. It shouldn't cost that much.
All right. I think
I'm getting loud and mad. Let me calm down.
I think to qualify for Medicaid, you need to make under 16. You need to bring under $1,600 a month.
Okay.
And I forgot how much assets you could have, but it can't be that much. Brandon.
So
how many people bring home $1,600 a month?
How many people bring home that much? It depends on where you are, but
is that a lot of money? Just say, is that a lot of money?
No, that's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. But so go ahead.
How many people bring more than $1,600?
More people bring more. Well, like I say, depending on where you are, if you bring it home that much,
$1,600, Brandon,
a month.
Yes.
In South Carolina, what percentage you think people bring home?
That's $400 a week, Brandon.
Okay, but
that's after taxes.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
But listen, I think our perception of money has changed a little bit. But a lot of people are because I looked at payroll. A lot of people are bringing home that. Well, maybe not. Let me see.
Brandon, you
yeah,
flip burgers, Brandon. Everybody don't flip burgers, Brandon.
But a lot of people do. a lot of people do. But I get what you're saying. It's a small amount of people that make that amount of money. It's not. It's you would have to downsize a lot to qualify for what this government assistance program is gonna do.
And I think you can't have more. This may be a lie. I think you can't have more than $2,000 in the bank.
Right. And they make it that way for a reason, because they want to jam you up into this program. It's kind of the same thing with welfare and stuff like that. They want to make it where you're kind of stuck. So if you qualify for Medicaid, it's because you really down bad, kinda. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So to keep people from losing their homes, it's a good idea to get the home out your name 5 years before you may need Medicaid.
But that's not. But again, that's not fair. Like, why does it have to be that? Because you'll be like, okay, well, cool. Now let me sell the house to somebody that I know and get it out of my name, and then I can do something else. But they already know what you're going to try to do, because they've been doing this for years. They want to get you jammed up and have control of your property.
And it's 5 years, Brandon. So how old is your mom?
60 something.
I just say she's 65.
Mm-hmm.
So in a perfect world, she'll get the house out of her name before she may need some assistance in her 70s. But that could require a lawyer, or to do it properly, you go want to get a lawyer.
Why does it have to be so hard to get stuff out of our name, and so we can get her taken care of?
Because it's a game, Brandon. If you don't know the rules to the game, the state is coming to get that money.
Right.
If you need help, your mom go work all her life, paid all her taxes and everything.
Right. That's the part that pissed me off.
If something happened in the blink of an eye, like it just did to me 2 weeks ago on Friday, something happened in the blink of an eye, and boom. Now you say, "Oh, your house is about to get your house is."
And that's what I say. Either all the planning and trying to set your life up, try to do things the right way, it's still things like this that can come up and throw everything off.
Do rich people need Medicaid, Brandon?
No.
Because they probably got $10,000 a month,
right? Or they know different things that they can maneuver and slide over, so they can. But that's a lot of money to live somewhere and have a nurse take care of you. I'm sorry, that's a lot of money. Is that a lot of money?
Brandon, you know how much assisted living costs?
It's too damn much if it's that much.
No, that's nursing home. Assisted living is anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000 a month.
Okay.
So, no, but to $8,000 a month.
Okay. And you saying that's for assisted living?
That's for assisted living.
Okay. So what we were talking about before is like a home.
A nursing home.
A nursing home. Okay, I got you.
They call it a skilled living facility. Skilled.
And I'm not trying to put all my business out here, but we did have an assisted living home. You remember we were running that for a while.
I thought you still got it.
No, we end up closing the business down and just trying to move on to something else, just because, like I said, it was a lot going on with that. It's profitable, but it's a lot that goes into taking care of people 24/7.
Well, no, y'all just do medication implementation. Did y'all do medication management?
Yeah, I think we had somebody. Well, I can't remember how. We had somebody come by to give out the medicine and distribute it and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, you just have to hire somebody, and we would be trying to wait on the Medicaid checks and have them cash it so they can pay for their living and stuff like that. It was a lot. It was a tough process, and people be trying to run scams, and you can't just throw people out when they can't pay. You know, it's kind of like when you're renting, you can't just throw people out. You got to have an eviction process. And like I say, that's a tough thing anyway, because like I said, like we say, it's hard to pay for that if you can't really afford it.
How much are you charging?
It varied. We wasn't charging that much. Like it might have been like $2,500 or something like that for a room.
And y'all provided the meals?
Yeah, provided the meals, all that kind of stuff. Had a nurse that lived there and was taking care of people. I think we probably had like 4 people living there at the max, like 4 residents living there. And you know, they got to kind of get along, and some people be crazy. It was well, I can't talk about too much of that kind of stuff of what they were doing, but you know, it's a lot that goes on, you know. Well, I'll just say that.
Some people do crazy. And watch this. Hold on. Look at that, Brandon. Look where I
well, and I shouldn't say crazy.
Nah, you can say crazy. You can say crazy.
But that's not what that is. You trying to jump and say, I'm trying to say having dementia means you crazy.
Nah, no.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm trying to make sure we clear up, because that's a real go ahead.
Dementia is a medical condition, Brandon.
Correct.
That's why I learned this last 2 weeks ago. Dementia is a medical condition.
Correct.
Now, if you go to a hospital, anything, if a patient has dementia,
wait, it's not a medical. What do you say? It's not a medical health condition.
No, it's a medical condition.
Oh, not a mental. Okay, not a mental health thing.
Dementia is not a mental health thing.
Okay.
So the words we use, they go flip this thing
right.
on you. So what they saying, you could be crazy in the head all your life. You could be bipolar, schizo, anything. If you develop dementia, they say, nothing wrong with your mental health. It's all medical. So we go deny a whole bunch of stuff.
I got you. Because, well, that's just what they do. Like, they try to get out of really paying for stuff and really trying to help people. They want to help what they can, what's cheap, and they can take care of it. But real issues that's going to be expensive, like I say, it's a business. So they're like, well, we're not going to cover that. We're going to call that something else. That's not mental health. That's an illness.
So if a person has dementia and mental health, if you're trying to get help, you in a room, a whole bunch of mess. Because here's the thing that comes to hand, Brandon. White doctors do not know the dynamic of a Black community.
And when you say that, what do you mean exactly?
Do we talk about mental illness in the Black community, Brandon?
No, especially not the age like where people have dementia. Though that generation, it was no such thing as mental health.
Could a person born in the 30s or 40s, Black guy, go to the doctor?
No, you can't do that.
All right. When my mom was growing up, she couldn't get a hospital room. They had to stay in the hallway of the hospitals. So you think a white doctor, if a sharecropper worker came in there and said, "Man, I'm depressed, man. I just can't do it no more." They yelling,
right.
And I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things. They can look at you.
Right.
Get your ass up out of here.
Right. And that's a real thing. Like, you know, the way we've been treated in the health industry back then to now, it's still not fair. It's still not equal. Like, a white doctor will see a white person and treat them differently than a white doctor seeing a Black person. That's just what's going to happen. They're gonna be rolling their eyes, you know. They'll see you and be like, "Louis, you can handle it. You know, I know the Black experience. You'll be all right." But if somebody else come in there, if just pearly things come in there, and she says she got a headache or she just don't feel good, they're gonna be trying to study it and try to see what's going on with her and tell her it's gonna be okay. We're gonna take good care of you. You know, she's gonna get excellent care, and people are gonna understand her and be more sympathetic to her. But not necessarily. Get your bootstraps, tie them up, and hit the streets. But go ahead.
The doctor was amazed that an individual didn't get his mental health checked out, and he's in his 70s. Brandon, is that he was amazed. So how can a person live this long if he really got a condition?
Right.
See, Brandon, black folks could be. It's a stigma in the black area.
It is.
You know, if Brandon had a brother who was retarded, you won't never see him.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I'm just playing now.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, it's not going to be like we're going to be out and, you know, you're going to be accepted and stuff like that. Because back in the day, you used to hide that person in the house and he would try to come outside a little bit. And your grandma would be like, boy, if you don't get back in the house.
That's bad. That's bad. See, the white doctor don't know that. All right. See, now I'm about to make a cold statement. This may get us banned.
Right. And we're just joking, of course. Because
this may be a joke. This may be the truth. You know, black people, we don't abort no babies, all right. So if the doctor say that baby gonna be retarded, we having that baby jack.
Wait, what?
But
why? Because we can get a check.
No, because we black, man. We the original people of this earth. We don't kill people. Okay. Now, a white lady say that baby gonna be tired. Man, get rid of that baby.
He's joking, of course. We're not about to say that.
And that's why they did that abortion act. You see it?
Yeah.
You see it? So, black people cool with struggling and raising the kid. White people ain't cool with
it. Right. And like I say, we have more issues with our kids. And like I say, we'll still raise them. But a lot of people think that black people aren't raising their kids, or black fathers aren't present. When you can look at the data and see that's not true. Black people are present in their kids' life, and we might be struggling, but we still be there for the most part. Not all, but it's some parents that really are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Audience, if your feelings feel a different kind of way, go seek some help, because this stuff is what's going on with you is only going to build up. It's not going to resolve. So go get some help, because you don't want your illness to compound with something else. Now they facing two things.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, because, you know, like I say, my mom is getting older, and, you know, we talk about what's bothering her, and, you know, my wife is a doctor, so we kind of give her advice and stuff like that. And I try to tell her to change up her eating and, you know, make sure you take in multivitamins and just staying on top of her about that kind of stuff, because she said in the past about, you know, having dementia or that kind of stuff and how we would deal with it, because it's possible. It happens quite often. My wife knows one of her friends' mother has dementia, and, you know, that's not an easy thing, or having Alzheimer's. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but having a parent that doesn't even really remember what's going on and just losing your mind or doing things like that aren't normal, that can be a lot to go through. Like, see your parents going through that. You know, they raised you.
Now watch this. The parents who's going through that, they don't know what they're doing because they ain't gonna remember.
Right. But I'm just saying, but it's
the people around that parents singing it.
Right, which is a crazy thing. Like, you know, I was gonna ask you, like, does he remember some of the stuff? Like, it's just because I haven't gone through it firsthand, but you can try to explain that stuff to somebody, but they just don't understand it, or they can't control themselves. They can't stop what they're doing.
Well, it's
tough. Like I say,
when his dementia is on, he can't like remember. Right now, he probably can't remember past maybe 3 hours, 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours. You know,
and like I said, that's tough.
So like if you go, like I went to see him just about a week ago. We saw him. The whole family went up there. Then he called back 2 hours. Man, we all gonna come and see me. And I'm like, damn, we were just up there. But you just have to learn to deal with it, and you kind of go to a realization that the person can't learn no more.
Right. And this memory is going to have holes in it.
Yeah, the memory got holes in it. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes you have your good moments. Sometimes you have your bad moments. The good moments is them being themselves. The bad moments is when a little of the other stuff kicks in.
Right.
So, but one thing, Brandon, I encourage you to do is your family talk to a state lawyer and planner, because if your mom has a house, I'd rather you spend $2,000 this year and something happens to your mom, she could qualify for Medicaid without losing a house.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I thought about when you told me about the situation with you, and the property. It's like, oh shoot, all the stuff is in his name. So it's like, now how do you maneuver with that and go against the state? You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing, and this was real bad about procrastination. My dad was talking about this for about 10 years, man.
Oh yeah.
But
you never think you're gonna get to that point where it's time to talk about this stuff, or it's time to have this stuff in place.
No, it's time to have it in place. He knew what's going on. My granddaddy, he saw what my granddaddy did to set his stuff right. But you can't procrastinate, Brandon.
You're right. And that's
like I'll go ask you every time we have a go on this live. It ain't gonna be live, but before we go on live, because I'm not playing with you, Brandon. Don't try to end up like
and
us.
I appreciate it, but that's what you're supposed to do with your friends or people you care about. You got to hold them accountable and make sure you talk to them. And because, like we say, we don't really talk about health. We don't talk about that kind of stuff in our community. We like to talk about stuff that don't really matter, like sports or entertainment, all this other stuff, which is fine. That's cool. But you got to talk about the stuff that really matters. Your health is everything.
I'm about to do it like this. Brady, you know why we don't talk about it, Brandon?
Why?
Because those black people don't have white people problems usually.
And what's white people problem?
White people problems is owning something. Wielding something off to somebody else.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna keep the state of South Carolina sticking hands off this?
Yeah.
When black people die, this is what we do. 50% don't have no life insurance.
Right.
If we do, it's $5,000.
And we talked about that too. Who died, or somebody died? It was like somebody they thought had a lot of money. I think it was the guy from Friday. It was Ezel.
Yes.
And remember we started talking about that, and he didn't have any life insurance, and his wife was asking people for stuff. So that's something that's very important. You have to have that stuff in place because you never know what's going to happen.
A GoFundMe. They needed a C-class actor or comedian, a GoFundMe to put him in the ground. That costs $10,000, Brandon.
That's crazy.
I mean, don't you have 2 cars you own? You could take them to car back.
Right. But you don't. People don't. People do not. We're down bad out here, but we like to pretend that we're not. We pretend that we on vacation and we living it up. We got mixed drinks and all this stuff. Like, people like to post that kind of stuff and make it seem like they're doing great when they're really not. And that stuff is expensive. That stuff add up.
You're right. We need more black people having more white people problems. That's what we need, Brandon.
You're right.
And we ready to buy these Michael Jordan tennis shoes. Don't save nothing. Now I'm here, Brandon. I can tell you something. Now over here, I talk about saving, right, Brandon?
Correct.
How much you think I'm talking about saving? How much money you think I'll be talking about when it comes to saving?
Maybe $700 a month.
Who got $700 a month, Brandon?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm throwing a ballpark number out.
Okay, that's why I'm like, okay. Right.
So how much are we talking? Because, like I say, depending on how much money you get and how much you can hold off on buying, you can save. You might be able to save $700 a month.
I tell people, start off with $20. If you have a job, start off with $20 a week.
Gotcha.
And work your way up to maybe $30 a week, $50 a week. Now, Brandon, is $20 a week a lot of money?
Is it a lot of money? It's not a lot of money, but as time goes on, it will turn into a lot of money. It will turn into a good amount of money.
All right, $20 a week for 52 weeks of the year. How much is that, Brady?
1,040.
Now, 80% of Americans don't have that.
Right.
So I just told you how $20 a week could make you have more liquid cash than 80% of Americans.
Right.
Now, Brandon, what happens if you do that for 5 years?
You have about $6,000 almost.
$5,200. Now, Brandon, is $5,000 a lot of money?
Yeah. You're getting up there.
Even to celebrities, $5,000.
Because they don't have it. They don't have it in their account either, really. I mean, we're not gonna say the celebrities don't, but the people we think have a lot of money, they usually are spending a lot of money too.
Hey, Brandon, when you worked at the hospital, how much money you brought home a week? You remember?
Maybe like $1,000 a week. Maybe.
How you? That's how much you brought home?
I can't really remember. I want to say because I probably got. Well, no, I forgot. I got paid every 2 weeks, so I probably got like 13 in 2 weeks. So that's about right. So $600 a week.
What's wrong with $600 a week?
It's not. But I just like I say, I'm older now, and money is just different.
What's wrong with $600 a week?
That's wrong. It's nothing wrong with it.
So watch this, people. Watch this, audience. If Brandon brought home $600 a week as a single man, no kids, and he wasn't tricking with these girls, let's say he could save $150 a week. That's doable, Brandon.
Not now. I mean, but yeah. Well, for the example, yes, because I want.
You can do it. You got a roommate. Y'all keep your house clean. Y'all.
But let's just say I'm in a nice city. I like to go out sometimes. I like to go out on the weekend, and I like to eat. I like to try new food spots. That's not cheap. I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Brandon, if you don't shut the hell up talking about that,
is that what people do? Is that not what people do nowadays?
I thought they used to listen to Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel didn't tell you to do that in your young 20s.
People listen to Kevin Samuel and do the opposite because he ain't talking to them no way. He's talking to somebody else. But go ahead.
All right. So if Brandon ate the same food every day like I did to Scatty and
who is doing that? But
5 days in a row.
Let me ask you this: can you post that on Instagram? Can you post that on Instagram? No.
Well, this one ain't.
They were like, Lewis, what you eating today? You gotta post this. You had, I ain't gonna say the Cheesecake Factory, but you had Benihana's or what's one of the steak places? What's a nice steak place that people go to? I can't.
Fogo de Chão.
Oh yeah, okay, Fogo de Chão or something like that. You gotta spend $100 to have random meat, just lamb. You got goat, all that kind of fancy stuff. But anyway. That's $100 out of my $600 for a week.
So Brandon just said, hold on.
What's the dad's room number?
It's 113.
Yeah, it's room 113.
That was my mom asking for my dad's room number. All right, so Brandon just explained. We're gonna put this in layman terms. Going to a fast food restaurant is like busting a nut. Okay. All right, so he busts one nut at the famous restaurant. What else you got to do, Brandon? Buy some Jordans?
I got to buy some. You got to buy
Jordans. Two nuts. All right. What else you got? Splurge on your girl?
I'm gonna be spending a little bit. Yeah. I got to cash app somebody because you're supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to send. You gotta send girls money, huh?
You got the Dodge Charger V6. That's a 3 nuts. That's 3 nuts right there.
Right.
Here at the Man of the Metaverse, I'm telling you to cut 2 of them nuts off and save the rest. That's all it is.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Instead of busting 3 nuts on nonsense, bust one and save $150 a week. Brandon, watch this.
Is it really bad? But I have to keep up. I have to look like I got motion online. Like I gotta look like I'm in the mix. Like I got a lot going on. I can't do that if I'm being cheap. I'm being cheap. Cheap.
Brandon, get you a nice looking girl. Have your place clean. Make sure she could cook all right. You
Okay.
cook it.
But she
Take
come
it on-
over, she like, this is nice, this is great, but I think we need to hit the town.
Brandon, we from the 80s, Brandon. We ain't do tricking
What we
with these
talking
girls
about?
like
We
this.
talking about now. It's different now. So we from the 80s.
we born in the 80s. We ain't doing. Me and Brandon back in the day. This how in the 2002, black girls ain't been nowhere in life.
That's right. Nowhere. Didn't experience anything.
Yeah. If you want to impress a girl, what I used to do, I take her to a Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
Or I took her to a Mexican restaurant. She ain't know what to order. Oh my God.
And fancy dining back then was actually Red Lobster. You could take somebody to Red Lobster, and that's a nice little date, or Olive Garden.
Or
Can you do that now? You can't.
Or if you really like it, Brandon, go to the Japanese restaurant where they cook in front of your face. That's a dinner, a drink, and a show all in one.
Right. And
$35.
Right. Right. But you can't do that. You can't do that now. It's a little different. Do you see people posting Red Lobster? So indifferent said Red Lobster was enough back in the day, and that's true. Our standards are so high now. Like the bare minimum is Red Lobster. You might get cussed out. You take a girl to Red Lobster, and Red Lobster got some good crab meat.
What the guy? What's the rapper name from Memphis?
Yo Gotti,
the short Young Gotti.
Yo Gotti.
He said, you know, good or well, y'all on the ground posted loud, but at the house you smoking Reggie. Man, people ain't going home. Man, every time I go to Outback, Red Lobster, black people be up in there. They'd be up in there, and the girls ordering some fruity drinks. I tell you that, at $8 a pop.
But that's even gone up too, though. Like I've been to Outback, and the portions have changed, and the prices have gone up. So you can go there, and it's lower, but it's still high too. Like Texas Roadhouse. Have you been to Texas Roadhouse? I was looking at some of the prices too. Like that stuff isn't cheap. Now, so Indifferent says the standards are all messed up due to Instagram. And I agree, because we all want to feel like we competing with celebrities. You want to compete with a millionaire, and you don't make that much money, but you still want to do what they want to do. You want to buy what they want to buy. We can't do it. It's no way to keep up with. How am I gonna keep up with LeBron James? Me and him going to the same restaurant. Why?
I remember when I was 20, maybe 20 years old, a girl couldn't pull out her phone. We went on a date. I know you can't do that now, can you?
Right.
Just spent $100 last night for me and my girl. Could have made everything for $100. Now, see, hey, the young guy in here, so indifferent. Now, if that's your main girl, she doing right. It's okay, you know. But guys these days be having 3 girls,
right?
And the girls be playing you to get something to eat,
and not just get something to eat. They want to get the moment. They want to be able to take a picture of it so they can post it on their social media. And they don't really care about you that much. They may care about you some, but you're providing a service for them. So it may be y'all on a date, but it's not really about love or making a connection.
Yeah. So when you said it's my girl, that's fine, man. That's your girl. She doing things you probably like to get that $100 back.
But I get what he's saying though, because like I said, you want to go the smart route and cook at home or do something like that, and you saving money. But Brandon,
ain't a smart route. You now, Brandon. You know good or well, some girls like you got to take them somewhere. You do nice.
You do. So let me ask you this. So out of a month, how many times should you go out, and how many times should you be cooking in? Should you be cooking in? Well, what percentage? You should be cooking in what? 80%, ordering out maybe 10%, or going out 10% too?
All right, I do this back in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now, so it's different. back in my 20s, twice a month or one time a month.
Okay.
And when I'm talking about we watching movies, we went to $1.50 movie.
Right.
we went to the $1.50 movie. So I say at least once a pay period, or at least twice a month. Well, at least 1 or 2 times a month. You know,
and that's feasible because, like I say, it's expensive going out.
You're right. And I want these guys to get some power, man. Now, Brandon, if you saved $150 a week for every week for 1 year, that's $7,800, Brandon. Is that a lot of money?
That's a lot of money.
But you could do that while you don't have no kids out of wedlock. You could do that if you ain't spending all your money just trying to fly wherever.
Right.
You know, so but you have to put back something. Like,
I think the biggest takeaway is save now, so later if you want to flex or you want to buy this stuff, do it later. Just put it off. Say I'm gonna buy this stuff, but I'm gonna do it later. I'm gonna wait a year or 2 years and be patient. Like I said, if you buy it now, you're gonna buy it, you're gonna have it. It's not gonna mean much. It's always like that when you want to buy something. But just be like, you know what? I'm gonna show discipline. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put it off. I'm gonna focus on something else, and I'm gonna just save. I'm gonna see if I can save this money and do something else with it later. And you have, like I said, you have 10 in a year. You have 12 times the amount you was going to spend on the Jordans, and be able to do something really impactful with the money.
You could save for a house,
right?
You could invest in something. I'm not even talking about stocks. You may invest in some equipment. You may become a yard service.
Right.
You may invest in some training. You may become a plumber or electrician.
Right.
You may invest in some training to improve yourself in the corporate world, which I don't like because you can't be yourself, Brandon. I can't be me in the corporate world, Brandon. Well, I can't be me.
You can, but you have to be a different version.
Yeah, I gotta be a different version. And right now, my age, I don't take no loud. A man better not raise his voice at me. You know, that's all I'm saying. He better not. Now, Brandon, let's pop on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I hear a lot of ladies. You know, I watch the Kendra G show, right?
Right, you do.
I hear a lot of ladies say, "I'm single by choice." That's like me saying, I'm not a billionaire by choice, Brandon.
It is, but they don't see it that way.
Now, okay.
Slow it down because I'm ready for this.
Wait, hello. Now, this is off the top.
Okay.
What would make a person say, I'm single by choice, Brandon?
Instagram. Social media, because it's like you want to feel like you don't need a partner, and I think we've talked about this before. That's a message that's being pushed, because I'm not gonna say men are perfect. Men aren't perfect, but just because men aren't perfect don't mean you want to claim being single. Like, you still want to get a partner if that's what you want. Well, if you don't want a partner, that's fine. Choose that, but don't put it out there like, you know, you just don't want one, because you do want one. Most women do want a partner. Right? Do you agree with that?
Most people do want another person because we're social creatures.
Yeah. So why say you don't? But that's
no. They say I'm single by choice.
Okay, but that's choosing. That's choosing to be something, even though that's not really what you want to choose. That's like you said. That's like, I choose to be broke by choice. You know, that's not what I want to be. But I like Lewis. I just want to be broke because that's just how I'm feeling. No, that's not how I'm feeling. I'm just broke right now, and I want to get money, but I'm frustrated. So I'm saying that I'm broke by choice out of frustration because I'm having such a hard experience with money.
I think a lot of ladies say this because they have an opportunity to be in a relationship with a man, but those mans are not the one they want to marry.
Yeah.
So they will say they are single by choice, but at the same time, they allow people to routinely bust in their face.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Literally, or is that you speaking figuratively?
Okay, let's just answer this question, Brandon.
That's a perfect example.
Can you find a spouse That spells spouse right.
Yeah, that's right.
From God. Ain't people won't say I want a God-fearing husband, a God-fearing woman.
Yeah. They say that.
While having a bum or side chick routinely busting your face.
Can you do both? No, because you're confusing yourself and God. So God's like, well, I'm trying to get you ready for this person, because that's maybe how I feel like God is. God has somebody for you, and you have to make sure you're ready for that person. But if you're doing a bunch of other stuff, it may be hard to find that person, because your focus ain't on the right person. You're focusing on having fun and thought and not go. We'll say hoeing. You can be hoeing and stuff like that, but you can't do both. You can't be looking for somebody and hoeing at the same time.
Now, I may be a little biased.
Okay.
I think women cannot find a spouse while still having a guy ejaculate in her face. Now, Brandon,
why is that?
Your wife, figure of speech.
Speaking of which, she's here now. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you better take me off this phone. Wait, but Brandon come back. I'll go see how Brandon answer this question. Because on this, looking at the Kendra G show, the majority of the ladies want a husband, but at the same time, the majority of the ladies are having sex with a person they won't never see as a husband.
So what you said, that was actually Walmart. My wife and I ordered some groceries. They delivering the groceries. But
so we go see what Brandon is a married man, right?
Correct.
Brandon?
That's correct.
The date, think back to the day you met your wife. Now, if that day she told you I had another man busted in my face,
right,
would you pursue?
No, probably not, because you're not that serious.
Okay, wait, hold on. Not the day before. Let's stretch it out. 3 days.
Well, if she's actively dating other people and having sex, make it difficult for me to think you're serious. Just because we men typically think that women are, like, if a woman is having sex with a man, we think that's serious, because men typically can have sex with somebody and it not really mean anything. Do you agree with that?
I agree. You can be ugly, dog ugly.
Right. We don't really care that much, but a woman is more selective because that's just how they are. And that's how they present themselves, because they don't just go around sleeping with people. Not normally. I mean, it happens. Yes, it happens. But men, we see it as, oh, okay, well, you clearly like this guy enough, and it means enough for you to be having a sexual relationship with him. So that's gonna make me think that you're not ready for something serious. So I get what you're saying.
Why Kendra G won't tell her female audience that little theory about guys?
Because she placates to, I don't watch her a lot, but I think she placates to the woman thing. Like, you can be single, you don't need a man, that type of audience. Like, I don't think she's really trying to bring people together. Because if you would be more honest, like Kevin Samuels, and try to do more of that kind of stuff to tell women what they really need to hear. And like I said, I don't watch her enough to know exactly what she says. But if you're saying she don't tell women that's 101. That's men 101. That's what you need to know off the gate.
Well, sometimes she do say she tells women you could date a lot of guys, but don't have sex with all the guys you're dating.
Well, this is my thing. Like, if you're seriously actively trying to find a mate, a real mate, you can't really do both. You can't have somebody doing that in your face. If it's game time and you're really serious about it, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can be dating a lot of people, but I think sex kind of mixes emotions and feelings up, and it'll have people not focused on what they're really trying to do. So you can't juggle all that, in my opinion.
Now, Brandon, let me ask you a question. Could you, if you really like a woman, and she said she was dating 3 guys, could you still try to pursue her and like her?
I don't think so. I say that, but I really don't think so. I don't think that's a turn on to me. To me.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing wrong with that, but for me, I just think maybe.
But she's not having sex with none of them. Not
okay.
even you.
Well, if she's just dating, that's fine, and that's just competition, right?
Hell no, not me, man. Hell no. Not me. Not me. I ain't trying to Brandon.
So if somebody, we're just dating, like it's when you say dating, you mean just going out, right?
See, I don't know. I think these guys got the game messed up, bro.
How so? Go ahead. Because it's all messed up. It is all messed up and confusing, and it's gonna keep everyone divided.
Because more than likely, if I like you, if I don't like you, I ain't going out with you.
Okay.
You know,
but, hey, why not?
We can eat some frozen pizza at the house or something. You know,
right. I got you.
Drink some wine. That's cheap. We can do that.
But like I say, it's a lot going on as far as you can go on a date with a woman and she not be interested in you. She's just interested in the services you can provide because times are hard. She may need some help on some bills. And if you're willing to help on the bills, well, then we can act like we're in a relationship now, or we can act like we're dating, and I can act like I'm interested in you.
Oh God!
And it wastes people's time, and that's what happens a lot of the time, and that's why a lot of people are single.
Brandon, when I was 19, now this old money right here. When I was 19,
old money.
Every woman had a cap of $50.
Okay, that's a good principle to have.
So if I didn't get what I want with $50, I said, nah, she ain't the right one. You know, she ain't the right one. So I don't know what guys doing these days. What they doing these days, Brandon?
Well, if you go out, if you go to a nice restaurant, how much you think that bill is going to be at the end of the night?
Brandon, we going to the park.
They're not trying to go to the park. I'm sorry. They're not going to the park. You can go to the park afterwards. I mean, I'm not saying that.
Brandon,
we got to eat. Women got to eat. They hungry. Okay. They ready to eat.
Watch it,
Brandon. Eating spaghetti, huh?
Your wife didn't want to go to the park with you, Brandon? Yes or no?
She did. And I said, before we were gonna talk about before we were talking about the other stuff, me and my wife were talking about like how we used to date. We used to go to Applebee's. For Applebee's, you get an appetizer, you get 2 entrees and a dessert for $25. That's a deal. And we did that and we enjoyed it. Now, can you do that now?
What else did you do? Now I'm curious. What else did you do?
We went to what's up, bro? Don't come on. What's up? I'm live streaming. What's up? What's wrong? I guess my daughter mad at me now because I'm talking about going out with my wife. But let me see. We went to museums. We went to a lot of museums, and what else did we do? Just regular stuff. Go to the movies, chill, watch TV, that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff does matter, and that's how you build a real foundation when you get ready to try to marry somebody.
Guys, if you really like a young lady, and I don't know, and you know, everybody's different.
Everybody is different.
But I like a person who don't cost that much.
Right.
That sounds crazy.
But that's what it's a different time, and people doing different things. So you got to go out. You got to spend a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of money, you a broke boy. I'm just telling you, Louis, you broke.
Spend a lot of money.
You got to spend a lot of money.
Man, that sounds crazy, man. Man,
that's our culture.
All right, Brandon, what's that? Why do women say this?
What is big shit? Well, I'm not repeating it because my daughter clearly is listening and getting
I said stick.
Okay, well, I'm not repeating nothing.
What is that?
It's okay. Well, how can I break that down? That's a masculine man who's dominant.
No, why do women? What's the woman definition of that?
Somebody who's putting it down.
Energy. That's it.
No,
okay. Outside I guess of the bedroom.
you paying bills, you holding it down, you
Brandon, you
going to expensive restaurant.
Your daughter is in the room. That's why you can't talk.
Right, correct.
Okay, I talk.
Go ahead.
Women don't know women don't know what big stick energy is.
Go ahead.
They don't know it. I think guys don't know it, but it's some guys you could tell they are movers and shakers. Brenda, can you hear me?
I'm listening. I'm trying to ask my daughter why she mad at me. But go ahead.
All right. Some guys could be movers and shakers.
Hold on 1 second. Well, why are you mad at me?
You told my secret
What's your secret? Don't come on live stream. What's your secret?
that I wanted to go again.
I didn't say nothing about going
Yes, you
again.
did.
Going again where? Skating?
Yeah.
I didn't even say nothing about skating.
Yes,
I'll
you
let
did.
I'll
You
let
said you wanted to
but we're
say
talking
you
about
wanted-
dating and relationship stuff. We're not talking about you skating. My daughter thinks
I can't hear you, but that's just
my bad.
That's just a young woman being a woman.
Right.
So-
She thought I told something about her is going skating. But yeah, that's what happens when you have kids. They're in your life and they think they know what's going on, but they don't. But no, I ain't say nothing about you going to skate. We're talking about dating. We're trying to help people with dating advice. But go ahead, Lois. Go ahead.
I think women don't know what big stick energy is.
Is it even a real thing?
I was supposed
It's
to
an
know. I ain't
opinion.
never-
You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's something we've all made up. Like we making up these terms and we're kind of misleading people because does this matter in the grand scheme of things when you date somebody? It does a little bit, but not really. Does a good heart matter? Does somebody loyal matter? Does that kind of stuff matter? Somebody who's financially responsible. If you're trying to date somebody seriously in a committed relationship long term, does that really matter? But if you're having fun, that kind of energy does matter.
But that energy don't have nothing to do with a stick.
But nothing. No, it don't. No. So is that what you getting?
Yeah.
To?
Yeah. To
no,
me,
it don't.
When I see
It's taking
guys,
two things and trying to put them together.
When I see guys with a lot of macho that means they got all the money, all the power.
Right. Correct. And that's what I get what you're saying. That they're trying to flex something else in place of that. And that's appealing to some women. So they will call that kind of energy when it's really not. It's just somebody who's got money. Yeah, he's powerful. Correct.
Yeah, he got resources. So guys, I ain't never met playing basketball and a guy being like, man, I got that dick bitch energy coming out. I'm about to grab these rebounds. I'm not playing that. I'm about to grab it. Did the Lakers win? I'm about to grab these
rebounds.
They won?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they won.
Man, you
not the shift, but do you think they're gonna win that series?
All up to Breakaway Davis. But I ain't never met a guy on the basketball court that said, I got this big dick. I got this
because
big
it's not a real thing that men even talk about or use. I mean, like use a term like that because it's not something it's not real, number one. And I don't know. Nobody's really using that. Women can refer to it, but it's speaking about something else. It's speaking about power and money.
And to guys, it's power and money. To women, I guess it's
security. It's security, I guess, and that's important.
Now, Brandon, do people love drama, cheaters, scammers, liars, and deadbeats?
They love to follow that stuff. I don't think people love liars, but why
not?
They're drawn to liars.
Why not?
It's exciting. It's exciting. Drama is exciting.
It is. Or how about deadbeats? Are they fun?
Well, deadbeats aren't necessarily fun, but you don't know you have a deadbeat till it's a deadbeat.
Brandon, I want to ask you a personal question.
Go ahead.
Do you know personally any deadbeat fathers?
I don't.
Ask me the same question, Brandon.
Do you know any?
I ain't never met. I never met a deadbeat father.
I'm not gonna say my dad is a deadbeat father, but that would be the only one I know, and I don't communicate with him. But yeah, outside of that, no, I don't really know any. So, do you think they don't exist? We do know they do exist.
They exist
in my circle. They don't exist.
So in my circle, they exist. It's out of the guys that I know, they majority are married
and stand up people. And like I say, who you are reflects to your friends and your circle. And the people that are on your level, I guess, in a way too. So
now, how would a person now this helping our ladies out here? How will our ladies identify a deadbeat guy before having that guy? Brandon,
what's going on? Salute, huh?
Brandon, we was gonna do a video on this, Brandon, but
What's up?
This may get me kicked off. Which hair color is more dangerous?
But I don't know. That's good. That's a good. I like when you do topics like that.
Hold on. Okay, let's do this. Let's get off the deadbeat powder because this is a few months old. Okay. All right. Through my experience, a hook nose ring, short hair, hair color that's not red. That is a man hater. That person hate guys. Okay. Brandon, do you believe that?
I would say it's more true than false.
Now, what would make young ladies put a ring right there?
I'm not sure. And I don't know what that symbolizes or what that kind of puts out in the universe.
Now, I'm about to talk like a veterinarian. Brandon, do you know the name of a female cow?
A heifer?
Okay, a heifer. All right. If a heifer get out of control, they put a ring right here in the nose so they can grab it and get them back in line.
Gotcha.
Are ladies reacting, being out of control? That's why they need a nose ring. Is that a sign saying that?
That's some deep psychology that I've never thought about, but that is a good point. And like I said, I don't know the reason or why that started. But did Tupac get a nose ring like that? Well, not like like the cow, but he got it right here. The dot. Okay.
And you got to watch out. You got to watch out for that. A guy with a nose ring right here, his booty hole been touched one time. I don't know about penetrated.
but that's ways people across. But that is a good point. And people act out in different ways and do different things, especially with their hair or like piercings and stuff like that. And I think I'm like we'll say we're generalizing. This is not facts, but usually when a woman is going through a change or something traumatic happened, she might cut her hair off. That's something that does happen, or make a drastic cut to her hair.
I used to do the same thing. When I say I want to work on my bitch press, I've shaved some. Now, one of these gonna be.
But why is that? Is it a feeling? Does it make us feel better? It's like a refresh, like a reboot. What do you think the psychology behind that is?
I don't know. I just said started back over. It's brand new, fresh.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they do the same thing with the nose ring. It's like let me reprogram myself and reintroduce myself to the world like this. And I put a nose ring, or I change my hair color. It's something in us that's telling us to do this.
Woo. All right, Brandon. Now, Brandon, read this one now. Now, this is based on my experience.
Okay, nose ring, color hair, piercing, white woman, black boots equals feminist, me too, man hater.
Is that a true statement?
I'm gonna agree with the boots. and this jacket right here. Hold on one second. Hold on.
All right, audience. This may sound like we stereotyping people. But I like to watch people. I like to study people, and my brain sees trends, and finally look at different things. And when I see a nose ring, hair color, piercing, an Anglo-Saxon with black boots like these, that's a feminist. She a cold hard feminist. She part of the Me Too movement, and she hate guys. So, guys, when you see this outfit right here on a white woman, don't brush across the shoulder because that'd be sexual assault. She's a full-blown feminist, and she's a man hater.
I agree. But why is that? Why is that like the go-to?
What? Those boots?
But just certain looks. Like if I see somebody with all black, a trench coat, I'm talking about a male now, and those boots. He's in my mind. Okay, that may be an active shooter or something like that. Like why do we tend to go to those type of things? Like it's like it's already coded in us to do that kind of stuff. And brother, Word the Consumer, what's going on? And I haven't seen you in a while, but glad you joined in the live stream.
You're right, Brandon. The white guy, long trench coat, boots. He got long hair.
Right. It's jailed down.
No, not jail. With a cup in his. He always got a cup in his hand. He always got a cup, like drinking coffee and walking fast.
Hold on one second, Lewis. Hold on.
I don't know that individual, but every time I see that individual, I think of Columbine. Every time I see that individual, I'm thinking of Columbine. Now, okay, let's get back.
But to be fair, what's one for us? What's a look for us? If we talk about, if you see a black dude, he got Jordans on, he has a Charger. What else can we put to him? He got waves.
What size motor in the Charger?
V6. He got V6.
Waves. What guy got waves?
Black dudes don't have waves. They don't. That's not a thing.
Dude, he got a piercing right here in his lip.
He got a Glock switch. No, we talking about.
No, Brandon, be for real. Say somebody you see on the streets.
I could go on YouTube right now and find a black guy. He's gonna have some ways. He's gonna have a gun. He's gonna have a Glock, and it's gonna have an extended clip on it. He's gonna have a charger. If I go to his page, he's gonna have a charger. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. He has a nice shoe collection. That's just what we tend to do. For some reason, we gravitate to these characters, and go ahead.
That person living at an apartment below market value.
Okay.
That person's mama got a foul mouth.
Okay. Might have a couple brothers and sisters.
And that person got bad credit.
Okay. Moving on.
All right, Brandon. Now, in your opinion, who most likely to bust out your car windows in this picture?
This
red hair or green hair?
I'm gonna say red, but I think the person that's more dangerous is somebody with green hair. Just because somebody with green hair, I think red is more natural. It's more accepted now in society than green.
Brandon, is you crazy, Brandon?
Which one do you see more of? If I go to a fast food place right now, somebody gonna have red hair.
And they be fighting. You see the videos at Popeyes, they be
right,
fighting.
But that person is more acceptable. I think the person. So you think the person with green hair is safe?
Nah, I think now. See, like I said before, the green hair, that means if you brush across the shoulder, a sexual harassment charge is gonna be coming up pretty. A sexual harassment charge is gonna be coming up pretty soon.
So you say the red is fiery, but the green is still dangerous too.
No. The watch this now. The red hair, she ain't having no abortions, man. Every baby's coming alive. I don't care who the baby with. They coming to earth. Green hair. If she ain't gonna benefit off that baby gone, Jack.
Brother, the consumer said both are dangerous. That's funny. But
actually, Mr. Brother Works, the consumer, who will bust out your windows most likely?
Red.
No, but watch this. Sure. Watch this. I don't want my mom to hear this. Now, who will be the best in the bed, Brandon?
Red.
Oh, why is that?
I can't say you. We both can't really talk this episode.
Huh? Who would be the best?
I'm just gonna go off of color, just red. I'm just say red.
All right. Now you getting jumped outside the Kangaroo gas station.
Red.
No, wait. Let me finish now.
Okay, go ahead.
You getting jumped outside the Kangaroo gas station. You getting jumped outside the Kangaroo gas station. Which person?
You good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
My daughter, somebody, am I good?
Which person most likely to call the cops?
Oh, I didn't say Brad help me, but go ahead. What you say? I'm sorry, Lewis.
If you get jumped at the Kangaroo gas station, which one could be most likely to call the cops for help?
Green.
Okay. All right. If you get jumped at the Kangaroo gas station, which would be the most likely to jump in the fight?
Red.
If
I'm with red, I'm going to be in a fight. If I'm with green, I'm not going to have an issue. But if it's a fight, if a fight has already started, red is going to definitely help. Green is going to run. Green may flee. So I'm betting on red.
Now I tell you, if let me shut up. I ain't gonna say that. But ladies, you see how the outside appearance and guys, the outside appearance can change how a person view you.
That's right.
Like every time I see this what comes to mind.
And the same thing goes for us too. Like if I see Lewis with a short haircut and I see somebody like me with locks, I'm judging two different ways. That's just how we are.
You're right. I get hired for a job from a white man before Brandon get hired for a job.
Right.
Brandon can have a master's degree, 10 years of experience, and I don't have to have none of that. I get hired for him.
Right.
Now, Brandon, these slides are real old.
Mm-hmm.
Today's modern athletes are more athletic, but many cannot play the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the better athletes? Was the people better athletes in the 80s? No, let's do 90s or the 2000s. Who got the better athletes?
Who got the better athletes?
Who's more athletic?
I think when you say athletic, you mean like skill-wise, explosiveness. Like I think athletes are more athletic today, but they don't last long.
How they're athletic, and 1 year ago, Andrew, what's the name? The Tate guy from Boston?
From Boston? The one that broke his leg?
No, the light-skinned guy who plays now.
What is his name? Oh, Tatum.
Mm-hmm. During the finals last year, he could not hit a three.
Right, choking. That's mental health.
And he couldn't do layups.
Right.
So how's you both skilled if your threes wasn't falling and your layups wasn't?
Well, you said more athletic. I think they're more skilled back in the day because it was more fundamentals. It was less distractions. You imagine what kind of distractions NBA players go through, compared to back in the 80s or back in the 90s.
What you mean by distractions?
Well, let's just say they're on social media, and they're already distracted by stories and stuff. People can have direct access to them without even having their phone number. Back in the day, you couldn't have that.
Well, here's the thing, Brandon. You can't blame a person who want to put a cell phone in their face and complain about what comes after their cell phone.
You're right.
You see this guy right here? Who's this guy right here?
Why Leonard?
We don't see nothing about him in the news. Why is that, Brandon?
Well, because he doesn't have a personality. I don't think he's a millennial like that. He's more old school with how he carries himself. He's not gonna be on the court. He ain't gonna be available.
I was watching Ja is trying to change his image. Thank you for taking my advice, Morant. But he was warming up. He brought his little daughter out there. Mm-hmm. Somebody had the video camera on the ground, and he, this is a show he put it on, and he playing with his daughter.
Right.
And good and well, he only did that because he was flashing those 380s in the club.
Right. He got to kind of rebrand himself. I'm not saying he never had his daughter out there, but he definitely need to have her out there now if he wants to not save his millions, because he's still going to be paid. He's still talented. But he does need to kind of clean up his image a little bit, just because people are starting to label him in a certain way.
Brandon, I think athletes from the 90s was more athletic than athletes today.
All right, so name one, and we could compare them. I think they're more skilled.
Vince Carter.
Okay.
Who was more athletic than Vince Carter? Played almost 20 years. Played 20 years.
Yeah. And that's a good point. Like NBA players now, they're not gonna be playing like that. You ain't gonna have nobody playing as long as Vince Carter is. And you see James Harden. How many years James Harden you think James Harden has left for, or to be able to be dominant like he was? Like we've already talked about his decline. It's just gonna get worse with the new players coming in, just because they're just not gonna last.
Brandon, James Harden only excel because there's rules changing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They start being loose with these 3 steps. A jump, jump to the side, and jump again, and then you can shoot.
Right. The Euro step stuff. Yeah.
They during that time they was calling fouls for if you brush across a guy's toe, it was a foul.
When he's doing a layup. Yeah. They didn't used to call NBA like that back in the day. Like Jordan used to get punished coming through the hole, and he would just have to make the shot. He would go to the line sometime, but that contact was allowed.
And that's why they say there was more athletic and more skill back then.
Yeah.
If you watch the Lakers today, they called a foul on Austin Reeves, AR-15. The guy shot a 3-pointer, Brandon. Ball released, but guess what happened? After the ball released,
touched his hand.
He touched his hand like, man, the ball was 10
feet
away.
They do that a lot.
Touch his hand like this. What that got to do with it now?
And that's my thing. Like sometimes the ball already shot. The guy's coming down, and if they land and touch each other, it's still a foul. To me, that's not a foul because I've already shot the ball. It's already gone. Like I get that he touched me, we touched each other, whatever happened. That shouldn't impact, and he'd go to the line and shoot 3 shots. To me, I don't think that should happen.
See, back in the 90s, when only reason back in the 90s, you had to hit somebody's arm.
Yeah, adjust the shot. You adjust the shot when somebody's shooting.
Or if you don't hit a person, if you land when the person can't land safely, and it could cause somebody to get hurt, they'll call a foul then.
Yeah.
But today they shoot. The ball was 5 feet away.
They touch the hand.
That's called good defense.
Right.
You know,
and it just encourages you not to get too close, so people are shooting more threes and making them.
But I would say the athlete, there was more skill back in the day than now.
Right.
Because you had to have some players had the overall game, and you could use the whole court to score.
Right.
Now, how many times you seen a mid-range shot, Brandon?
It's people don't shoot it because it's not worth it to them. Like either I should step back a little bit and shoot a 3, or I should try to go to the hole and get fouled. That's what basketball has kind of turned into. If you just do a mid-range shot, it works. We actually went to see a Hawks game. They played Dallas, and it's a person. We bought a jersey for my daughter. His name was Murray. I was like, oh, I haven't even heard of this person. I can't remember it. What's the dude's name that you got a jersey for, Brian? What's the guy's name? I think it's an urban name. I can't think, but he's a really good player. Like he had a really good mid-range game, and he would shoot mid-range shots, and he was a solid NBA player because every time he would shoot, he would make it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out his first name though. What's his first name? But before the game, I kind of looked up his highlights. He's a really explosive player and a really good player on the Hawks. What you about to look him up? But and they were playing Dallas, and when you go to a game, I haven't been to a lot of games. You can kind of see, yeah, that's him.
Is this guy right here?
Yeah, a really tremendous slasher and scorer. Like I said, I watched him. I was kind of blown away by how he plays. He played like a point guard, but he can get to the hole. He has a really good mid-range game too. He's decent. He's not a superstar for sure, but he's a decent role player that you could have on your team. And I think he's young too. He hasn't been in the league long, but I see he played for the Spurs. And sometimes when you're in a system like that, you gotta play the right way.
Well, obviously the Spurs haven't been playing the right way for 5 years, Brandon.
But they still have a good system in place. But yeah, this was a really decent player. And like I said, they were playing the Mavericks, and I was gonna say, like, I saw how Luka was playing. Like I could tell he don't like playing with Kyrie, and he doesn't want to be there. And I think maybe like a week later they was asking him whether he wanted to ask for a trade or not. He was just saying like, yeah, I like playing here, but he was playing like he was just him. He's like, pass me the ball, I'll shoot it sometime, or it's just no chemistry with him.
That's how Luka plays, man. He's off.
You ain't gonna be able to win. You're not gonna be able to win like that in the long run. What's up?
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, we looked it up. Lewis pulled it up. Is the DeJounte. Don't come on screen. Nah, don't come on screen. Yeah, but yeah, like I say, he's a pretty good player and really athletic. But I'm not sure if he's gonna last. He's 26 years old too.
Well, I don't know, man. But the NBA, they still living off the old players. Kevin Garnett, no, not Kevin Garnett. Kevin Durant,
hurt all the time too.
Stephon Curry, LeBron James. When the young people go step up and take the show, Brandon?
They not.
No, they're
not. They're not.
Because those players getting why just name everybody?
LeBron is old, right? That's
33.
what I'm gonna say. LeBron, but who is it? It's gonna be Ja Morant, and you see how that's going so far. Greek Freak he's not American, and he's not corny, but he just not from this country, so he's not as relatable as LeBron is.
Yeah, he eating olives and cheese over there. And olive oil. That's what he eats.
Did you see the All-Star game? They was like asking him to say something. They was like, "So Greek Freak, what do you think?" He was like, "Winner, chicken dinner," and he thought that was funny. It was like, he just not gonna be it. You gotta come with somebody else. So hopefully.
So you saying Durant go be it?
It's gonna be Ja Morant. Yeah, Ja Morant. That's it. That's all we got so far. Or LeBron, Bronny when he come in the league, or his
Bronny.
Bronny.
Man, he better hope he make it to the G League.
He'll make it. I think he's not gonna be a superstar, but he's an average player enough where he's gonna make a roster and people are gonna focus on him. And not to mention we got Zion Williams, we watched some of his highlights. He's still pretty good. He's still really good, actually.
Brandon, the man said, "I'm ready 100%, but I don't feel like Zion, so I ain't playing."
Oh yeah.
Wow. Now you tell me what kind of man? Hey,
that's a millennial thing. Yeah. So
Brandon, your team is in the play. Your team was in the play-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So
he didn't play in?
No. Oh. So if you lose, you're out. So how you gonna let your whole team down like that?
Because you don't care.
I'll tell you what I done. I put on my suit. I come out there, got on the court. My ankle. Then I go out.
So you do the Anthony Davis, okay? Well, Anthony Davis at least get in the game a little bit. And
Brandon, this man today they brushed into his bicep, and he said, "I couldn't feel my arm, Brandon."
Right. I think I was watching the play-in when they were playing the Timberwolves, and he got kind of hit a little bit. And he started grabbing his leg and had to go out for a minute. And I like Anthony Davis because he kind of hot and cold. He try to turn it up a little bit, but he's get to grabbing that leg and head to the back.
Yeah, the Lakers did win. Look at that.
Who do you think? We predicted last year. Who do you think is going to be in the final? We'll say the final two in the Western Conference Championship and the Eastern Conference Championship.
All right, we can do that. Hold on, let me pull up the brackets.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say because we can say it and we don't know, and then we'll wrap it up because
yeah, let me pull up the brackets.
I got them doing groceries out there.
All right, let's do the Western Conference. All right. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me put this disclaimer. If Breakaway Davis don't get hurt, if Breakaway Davis don't get hurt, LA's coming out.
Oh, dang. Golden State already lost?
Golden State only won 11 away games this year, Brandon.
That's crazy.
So...
But can you? I was looking. I didn't even realize Sacramento was that high. Can you name a player on Sacramento?
Bibby. That was 20 years ago.
Right. Blotty, Chris Webber.
Chris Webber.
I guess they got a bunch of good role players that are playing good team ball, and they could put the Warriors out.
I think Sacramento Warriors go beat them. They're gonna be LA.
Mm-hmm.
LA may beat the Warriors. All right. If I go up, hold on.
Hey, what? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I was about to say, how the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phoenix is gonna win barely, and Denver is gonna win right here.
Okay.
So between Phoenix and Denver, Let's go with Phoenix. So it could be Phoenix and LA.
Dang, that's what I was gonna say too. So because I want to see that matchup anyway, but I'm with you on that one.
This one, this could be a blowout.
With the Bucks,
the Bucks is gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's gonna win. Philadelphia's gonna win in case that guy get a tummy hurt. My tummy hurt.
Who talking about? Ben? Not Ben Simmons.
No, the biggest man on the court.
Embiid.
The only person to get a tummy hate. He can't take no tums. If his tummy don't hurt, they'll win this. Boston coming out because Atlanta is just trash. I don't know.
No, they're not trash. I'm actually picking Atlanta, but go ahead.
Brandon, the point guard, he been dropped on his head as a baby. You see how
Trae Young?
Yes, you see how his face look. It's all deformed. You know, look like the guy off Goonies at the end. Right. You look at the guy on Goonies, look at Trae Young, the same person.
Right. And what's it called? Brother Worth said Grizzlies and Bucks for the championship.
Okay.
You might be right, but
hey,
go ahead.
See, this is how I'm about to get him right now. Your man Ja likes to jump high in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He jumps so high he get off balance.
Mm.
And luckily people be around to catch him, or he can brace himself on the rim. I don't know if you ever, Brandon, you dunked before. Sometimes the rim save you. Why you hang on the rim just a little bit if you
make sure you land right.
Yeah, that makes sure you land right. So one thing gonna happen. Nobody gonna catch him jumping so high.
Right.
Or he ain't gonna be able to brace on the rim and he's gonna fall down like he did in this game. I didn't know he's out, but I don't know he's out or not. But he fell down this game, hurt his hand.
Or just he gonna be partying at a club or something. You know, you could get thrown off being on the road.
Brandon, no club.
Do they send? No, it ain't. They'll send some girls to his hotel. If you're knocking on it, they do that in the playoffs if they're smart. Like I say, I think the Lakers they're gonna beat Memphis. So
Mr.
That was me knocking.
He said Memphis is gonna beat the Lakers. It's possible. And I think Sacramento is gonna beat Golden State. And he said Memphis is gonna beat Phoenix or Denver. So it'll be Memphis right here.
And the Bucks will wash everybody.
Yeah, he may be right about the Bucks.
So who I have the Bucks and I'm gonna say Atlanta in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Atlanta?
I'm going Atlanta.
Man, okay, so you can put everything on a point guard who ain't taller than me.
They got Clint Capella, which I like. They got some good role players off the bench. I think if they can beat Boston, I think they could make it out, but they may not beat Boston. Boston is a hard team to beat, so we'll see. I got a little bias because I'm here and I done went to a game, and I caught 2 T-shirts where they throwing them up in the stands.
So you snatched the T-shirts off the kids?
Yeah. No, they were shooting them through the cannon,
and the kid was in front of you.
No, I had my daughter. I had my daughter right here, and I just snatched 2 shirts. So I got Hawk fever right now, and they go into the finals.
Wait, tell me this: how much alcohol costs at the building?
I'm not sure because my wife went and got it while I was sitting down, so I'm not even sure.
We got
some nachos. They had like some what was it, like pulled pork or pulled beef nachos. So we had that. We were really good, and some pizza. So I don't think we got any alcohol actually.
So Brandon had a gas station pizza.
Yes, it was worse than that.
And
the nachos was good. No. They had pickled onions on them barbecue nachos. It was good.
Ziploc board barbecue. They put it in a Ziploc bag. They boil it in some boiling water and come out.
Yeah, they might have done that. I agree, but it was good. It had good flavor.
Oh, okay. Nah, man, Atlanta ain't doing that. Atlanta, see, that's why black people need to buy Atlanta, man, because they ain't winning. We need to buy the Hawks and we need to buy the Falcons. It's cheap. They ain't winning.
And they 7 seed. I'll say that it's teams that are doing worse than that. But that is a black seed. What's the other one? DC Washington. Yeah, that's supposed to be your squad. What is Washington doing?
Which what you mean?
Washington
football?
Wizards.
No, they ain't in here.
But that's what I'm saying. What are they doing? They got Bradley Beal and any other.
Who the hell is Bradley Beal?
A good B player.
Okay, who else? Who else you got?
I think that's it. They had Westbrook for a little bit. They tried that. That didn't work. They had John Wall. That didn't work.
Last time the Wizards been something they had 777.
Oh yeah, Gilbert Arenas. We're talking about
and yeah, he still didn't do nothing.
Right.
You know, last time the Wizards was good, Michael Jordan played on the team.
And Juwan Howard.
and 48-year-old Juwan Howard with Kwame Brown.
Right.
Yeah, they curse it out.
But that's Chocolate City. That's Chocolate City. That's
ain't no chocolate. Ain't no go to 8th Street. Ain't no chocolate. There's so many white people down there.
But it's still so it's not Chocolate City anymore.
No, it ain't that. They busted all them people to PG County. That's a county outside of Washington D.C., still in Maryland. But ain't no go to H-Town. You know, you'll see a bunch of white girls jogging in them shorts. People walking with coffee in their hands.
Yeah, they try to separate, that element from the cities where they're trying to get the money and, put things that are, I'm not gonna say white people enjoy, but have them very comfortable and spending more money.
And they complain about go-go music. How can you come to DC, complain about go-go music, trying to take over half of the fish market? You can't even buy fish down there no more on the water.
Dang,
that's
crazy.
But I ain't saying nothing. That's a little different.
I told my wife I was gonna come up there and visit sometime. I'll let you know when, so we could try to have a
shoot. DC will be fun, man.
Yeah.
What museum you want to go to?
Of course, the African American Museum, but whatever else is out there. Because, like I said, I'm into that. We do a live podcast together, a live stream together. Let's see how that.
Oh, that'd be a tax write-off. What?
You're right. No, you're right.
You ain't gonna do the books, right? So
nope.
But I do them for you. You finish your taxes?
Yeah, we finishing up now. We gotta send some stuff to the CPA. Is that what's called, CPA? Yeah.
You paying money, so you ain't finished it yet.
Not necessarily, but she wants some more receipts and some more documents. We got to try to look and find so we can get those expenses written off or whatnot. But
oh Lord. All right, Brandon.
No, that's it. This was a pretty good show. We haven't been live streaming about 2 weeks, so we're not really rusty.
Hey, the people in the audience, at the beginning of this live stream, I talked about Medicaid. Yeah, so if you own a house, any individual own a house and they getting up in age, you may want to check out the beginning of this video.
Correct.
So,
because like I said, we always have good information, all kind of information. We like to have fun, but it's some real stuff going on, and people aren't giving you the truth about your future. Your parents' future. They want to misuse them, misguide them, and take advantage of them and their assets. So, just something to think about.
Had to fight. You talking about fighting? I had to fight the doctors yesterday. They ain't taking my damn blood sugar up there. He got diabetes. Okay, he described diabetes medicine, but y'all don't got the brains to put. Y'all need to check his blood sugar at least once a day.
Because they don't really care like they say they care. They got an oath and they do all this stuff, but the oath is to the business. The oath is to the money.
So I'm going there cursing somebody out tomorrow. So that's when the lady get back, Miss Allison.
Well, good luck with that.
All right.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching. We did have a lot of people chime in. And like I said, we appreciate that. We're trying to build a community where we're helping people, having fun, encouraging, all that kind of stuff. But, Lewis, stay safe. Thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We want to get 8 million short hours, I guess, or short views. And because we want to monetize, we want to do more stuff. We want to give away stuff. We want to give game away. So Thank you for watching. Lewis, you want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah, guys.
My lighting is bad because it's doing sun, but it's okay.
Well, you all right. Guys, let's check out our older videos, man. If you just scroll through them, there's a lot of videos about saving money, investing. There's a lot of videos showing the game. So, guys, just watch the stuff and don't let the state government take your grandma's house or your dad's house or your mom's house because y'all can't afford if you need a nursing home.
Correct.
You got to do loopholes.
Correct. Like I say, shout out to Brother Work the Consumer. We appreciate it. All right, Lewis, I'll catch you later.
All right.
All right, bye.